All right, so we are up to way number 23, which is Lev Tov, a good heart. So imagine you're lying in your bed reading a book or watching a video or listening to music, soaking up some downtime, and suddenly you hear your wife or your mother open the front door, having come back from the supermarket, and call out in a relatively soft voice, "Hey, I need some help bringing in the groceries," right? And you react, "Ah." Right? You pretend not to hear. You kind of roll over and you continue what you were doing. Then the voice gets much sharper. "Hey, I need some help here." Right? And the battle inside you begins. One part of you feels like ignoring the call for help, staying in the comfortable cocoon that you're in, and ignoring it, right? Another part of you wants to jump out of bed and do what's right and help. So every human being has this constant internal struggle, right? We have two hearts. One that desires to do the right thing, wants to do what's right, and the other that feels like escaping the effort and the pain associated with doing what's right. So number 23 is Belev Tov, with a good heart. We have to develop the awareness of this struggle within us. For instance, we want to use our time effectively, but we feel like procrastinating, right? We want to eat healthy, but we feel like finishing off that bar of chocolate or donut or whatever. We want to think and attain wisdom, but we feel like spacing out while watching Netflix. Right, so this is the conflict between our soul and our body. Right? Our soul yearns to transcend the material world and live in concert with the will of Hashem, right? Impact the world, impact humanity. That's what our soul wants. Our body comes from the earth, and it really just wants earthly pursuits. It wants the animalistic, eating, sleeping, right? Instant gratification. So to be triumphant in this battle, you have to be aware that there are struggling sides, and you have to be able to identify which side is tapping into your good heart and which side is the alternative. And then using that, you can drive yourself to jump out of bed and do that little errand of bringing the groceries with joy and with happiness without an ounce of complaining. So number one of this is to distinguish between the two hearts, right? One way to do this is to distinguish between the desires of your soul and the feel likes of your body, is to ask two simple questions. What do I want to do, and what do I feel like doing? Right? Your soul wants to do the right thing. Your body feels like staying in bed 5 minutes more. So learn to be sensitive. And by the way, if you don't identify which of these is happening, chances are your body's going to win. So learn to be sensitive to these competing voices, and remember that the real you wants to do good. So follow the voice of the good heart and reject the voice of the selfish heart. Do what you truly want, not what you feel like doing. Number two of this is being good versus looking good. Right? Don't fall prey to the counterfeit version of the good heart, which exists all over, which is called looking good. Right? Every society has its definitions of who's worthy of quote unquote respect. Right? In Western society, it's having the right job, the right bank account, the right car, the right house, right? For younger people, it's getting a bunch of likes on your posts or having the most Facebook friends. I know that's already aged, right? So rather than leading to genuine self-respect, these things actually hollow out the core of the person, leaving a person empty and insecure. You feel like a fraud, and you need the approval and validation of others rather than the self-worth and self-respect. So there are no real shortcuts to self-respect. Self-respect comes not from looking outward at how people are viewing you, but from an internal recognition of your soul and putting it to work on to accomplish God's will. Number three is the idea of what's more important than life itself. So if you had been a prisoner in Auschwitz, right, and you were offered the chance to be a guard, so now you have a choice. You could be on your last legs and nearly dead and potentially dead, or you could be a Nazi guard. What would you choose to do? I'd imagine you're traveling through the Far East with some buddies, and you're in your hotel one night, your buddies have gone out to a museum, and the secret police knock on the door. And they tell you that your companions are spies, and you have to tell them where they are or they'll kill you. So you think to yourself, nobody will know if I tell them where they are, and I can go back to my comfortable life, right? So do you tell them? Right? Let's up the ante a little bit. Let's say they say kill 1,000 kids, and you can go back to your regular life. Right? Would you ever do it? So understanding where your lines are, what being good means, right? And that it's so important to us that we would even die for it, because it's even more important than life itself. So it doesn't mean that we aspire to become martyrs or anything like that. We affirm, as Jews, we affirm and celebrate life. But knowing what we're willing to die for reveals what our real priorities are in life. So if you're willing to give up your life to be good, then there can't be any higher goal than living your life to be good. So don't just die for it, live for it. So by making goodness a goal in living, you have to be willing to give up some comforts and distractions. And the next time you're confronted with your good heart battling your less good heart, your evil heart, right? Tap into the good one so that you're not cheating yourself out of one of your deepest needs, which is the desire to be truly good. Number 4 of this is that everyone wants to be great. Try saying the words, I want to be mediocre, out loud. They don't resonate. You almost can't get them out of your mouth. Why? Because we want to be great, not just good. Do you want to be the person who cures cancer or Alzheimer's? Do you want to eliminate the threat of nuclear war single-handedly? Of course, right? We would all love to be instrumental in changing the world. The soul within us wants to be like God itself. It's a part of God and wants to be like God, right? So we each have the potential to change the world. The Gemara says that each person has to say, Bishvili nivra ha'olam, the world was created for me. That doesn't mean that I can walk around like this and expect to be able to do whatever I want. No, it's the responsibility of recognizing that I am the center of the universe in terms of responsibility, that I can have an outsized impact on the world, and that it's my responsibility to do so. So the effort is enormous, right? And we may not know the strategy we can employ to cure cancer or whatever other major world problem we take on, but don't fool yourself into believing that not focusing on it, not finding the strategy, not putting in the effort, absolves you of the responsibility of looking at the world as if you're the one who can save it. So some applied wisdom ideas. 1, pinpoint some internal conflicts between what you want to do and what you feel like doing. And then weigh the benefits of doing what you want to do and what it'll ultimately cause, and doing what you feel like doing and what it will cause. Number 2 is remind yourself daily that you want to be good. Obviously, know your definitions, define good, but remind yourself that you want to be good. We're easily distracted and forget how much being good matters. Work so that it's a part of your ongoing psyche.